I'm going to do a quick little tutorial on how to make your own keg welding bucket. So what we've started off with here was just a pony keg that's already been cut in half. It's the perfect size for a rod bucket, and some really thick galvanized wire. I like to use the galvanized wire because then, well, it doesn't rust. So the tools you'll need to do this is a grinder to cut the wire, a drill to drill the hole, the bit to drill the hole. I like to use some cutting lube, and you're also going to need a large speed square and a marker. So you can do this in any order you want. You don't have to do it in the order I do it in. This is just how I'm going to choose to do it because it really doesn't make a fuck. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, lay my speed square in here, and I'm going to kind of eyeball center. I'm not going to get fucking scientific with it. It's a rod bucket, okay? Let's not waste our fucking time here. Time is limited. So I'm going to say this is about center. This looks good to me. All right. Fucking beautiful. It's a little bit off. So I'm going to eyeball it back over to where I think it is, which is only like a couple of inches or a couple of centimeters one way. So I want to give it a little bit of meat. So I'm going to eyeball, you know, like 3/4 of an inch down. Again, I'm eyeballing this shit because it doesn't make a fuck, okay? So our next step is to grab our wire and find us a drill bit that is slightly larger. The reason we want one slightly larger is we want this bastard to move around in there. So this bit looks good to me. When I buy drill bits, I always like to buy the drill bits that have the 3 flat sides so they don't spin in the chuck. You want to start off slow so you get a nice little divot in there. You can also punch it. So once I got my nice little divot going, I'm going to go ahead and give her some fluid so that way I don't burn these bits up because these bastards are expensive. Hey, if you make drill bits and you want to send your boy some to test them out, come on, send them over, all right? And you want to find the right speed. You don't want to just go hog wild like that because you'll burn your bit out like that. You want to find the speed to where you get the biggest peel from the drill bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. I really should be wearing glasses. There we go. You see how it's peeling pretty tall? That's the perfect speed. That means you're getting the most out of each cut. You can see how easily we drilled through that stainless. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side now. All right, we got both our holes drilled. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my roll of wire and I'm going to roughly just kind of figure out how much bucket length or handle length I want. Just roughly. I want a long handle on this so I can throw it over my exhaust on my welder or someplace, wherever I deem the best. So I'm feeling like right there looks pretty good. Again, I should be wearing glasses for this shit, but I'm not gonna. Double check to make sure I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good. Next thing I'm gonna do is, I don't know if you can see this, but this bucket has got some burrs and I don't wanna accidentally cut myself on this thing because all I did before I started this process was cut the keg. I'm gonna take a flap disc and I'm gonna clean this thing up. All right, so this next step is very important. You're gonna wanna take a sip of your beer. Get that out of the way because you don't want to get no fucking debris in it. Or you might. I don't know. I don't know what you're into. I mean, I don't really make a fuck to me if you want to drink metal. But I don't. So I've got my Benchmark abrasive flap disc on here. These are my favorite fucking abrasives. Love these guys. And we're going to go ahead and clean this thing up. I'm going to go ahead and nip these bad boys down. What the phone didn't record was me going ahead and just bending this bucket handle in there and just straightening it out and getting it where I wanted. The reason I do that is so I can get my initial bend on them. And then I take my vice grips and I just finish that bend right off. Now you can go all the way up. Having a little trouble this direction. But that's all right, she'll work herself in. So it might take you a little time just to get these things where you want them. It always does every time I do one. It'd be nice if you can grab just the tip. Just the tip. If you can grab just the tip, and give her a bend out. Just the tip. Just give her a little bend out. Okay. And that makes it a little easier, a little more mobile. Okay. And I'm going to have to work this tip out just like I kind of did here, and that'll make this thing a little easier to work back and forth. But anyway, that's basically how you make yourself a rod bucket right there. Like I said, I like the extra long handle. You can make the handle as long or as short as you want. I like it to just come right here so it sits down nice. It stays out of the way, but I can also hook it on shape. You know, I'm going to hook it probably on my muffler, on my welder. But that's it right there. Got ourselves a nice little rod bucket. No more burrs on it to cut yourself on. It's stainless, so it won't rust. And it looks pretty fucking cool. All right, guys. I'm Melt Metal Anthony. If you like this little tutorial, like, subscribe, share, do the whole nine. If you didn't like, well, that's all right. You can go fuck yourself.